All right, thanks everybody for joining us. Jake McGee now available. First question's from Alana Rizzo. Go ahead, Alana.
Hi, Jake. How does that recent uptick in your velocity, how do you think that has served you?
I think overall it served me really well just to get my velocity where it was back consistently. In the past, I'll still get up to 95 to 96, but with how my body's moving now, it's nice just keeping it consistent 95, 96. So.
Dave had said that they really saw the value in you and the upside to you. To know that you can just serve this team the way that you want, being who you are, how much more confidence does that give you on the hill?
It gives me a lot of confidence. They said they had a few things what they saw in some of the video and things in the past, and being comfortable with Andrew and Brandon Gomes. I thought it was like a lot of upside too to come over here, and just really comfortable and just back to throwing my fastball a lot.
You mentioned throwing the fastball a lot. It's almost as if guys know that that's what you're going to throw, and you just have to force them to hit it. I mean, how much conviction does that pitch give you, knowing that the hitter's going to know what's coming, but you still have been so effective with that, with kind of your bread and butter?
Yeah, it's been nice, especially the game yesterday. I was able to throw my fastball and get tons of swings and misses. When I get feedback like that and swings and misses, it's hard for me to try to go to something else, even though they know I'm throwing a fastball 98% of the time right now, which is good. As long as I locate it well and get ahead, I should be in pretty good shape.
And finally, for me, Jake, I know that you have a great deal of respect for the organization in which you just came from. Any strange emotions going on for you? This is not the first time you faced your former club, but any strange emotions going on for you knowing that the Rockies are here?
No, it'll be good to see some of the guys, but with all the COVID stuff going on, I don't know how that'll work of staying 6 feet apart and by the field. But I haven't been able to see anyone yet today, but it'll be good to catch up with a few people over there.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Mm-hmm.
Next question from Rowan Calviner. Go ahead, Rowan. Go ahead.
Hey, Jake, is it just as simple as throwing the fastball more, or is there, I'm guessing, a little more to it than that?
There's a little more to it to that. What they saw in the fastball, it's back to where I was with Tampa. I got my vertical back up to where it was with Tampa, so I'm able to throw my fastball more. I have better vertical and horizontal, so it's kind of two planes in a way. And it just makes it easier for me to throw my fastball more often because it's harder for the hitter to hit when it's moving that way. But when it flattens out, that's when it's a lot easier to hit.
How easy was it then for the guys in the front office to kind of explain that vision to you? And I'm guessing it's something that you were pretty open to.
Yeah, I was after Colorado let me go, I was open to really anything what anyone had suggestions that make me a better pitcher, and I was all for it. And I came over here and kind of took and ran with every suggestion they had to help my hand get a little higher, and then correlated with my fastball getting back to where it was before, and just doing the extra work.
How much more fun has it made it just to have this kind of consistency, pretty much every time you've been out there?
It's been really cool. Like yesterday, I was able to get a lot of swings and misses on my fastball, and I haven't had that in a while, and it was kind of cool to have that feeling again, to be on the mound and be my old self again.
And then you've don't have a ton of experience pitching against the guys that you've played with the Rockies. Who do you think the advantage kind of goes to here when the batters haven't seen much of you, but these guys pretty well?
I know them pretty well, and they've faced them here and there over the past few years, just in spring training, and then even a month ago I faced a lot of the guys. But it'll be interesting to see how my fastball plays and how different it is from even a month ago. But I'll still got to do my research and, be on top of my game.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Next question is from Pedro Mora. Go ahead, Pedro.
Hey, Jake. I'm just wondering, like the fastball stuff, throwing it more here in Los Angeles, the vertical and horizontal break that you're talking about. What happened with Colorado? I guess that you went away from that, over the past couple of years. Did it happen slowly? In retrospect, like what went? I understand you still put up some solid numbers there, but what went wrong compared to your previous years and this year?
I think it's just kind of gradually over time. I kind of got away from focusing on staying behind the ball a little more. I was throwing a little more curveballs and sliders, and when I started doing that, my hand was getting around the ball a lot more and wasn't even really realizing it. Even though my velocity was still close to the same here and there, it just over time, I just developed bad habits in that way. Didn't even notice it here and there. So,
was it something that you had talked about with coaching staff, with the front office there in Denver? Like, had you guys been in constant conversations about this?
When I was there, yeah, we tried to just focus on throwing more high fastballs, but still working on my slider at the same time. I got some tweaks here and there, and on the road I would be myself here and there, but then go to Colorado. It's always a little tougher to pitch there. So I'd kind of have to adjust here and there, but I think they helped me here and there with it to get back, and it just didn't work out in the right time.
Did you envision that when they let you go that you would get picked up so quickly and then have a team make such simple suggestions that would enable you to have the success that you've had here in the first months? I mean, did you think this was possible?
I was kind of up to all suggestions. I felt like it was possible because my body felt really good and I felt strong. And when the Dodgers came with me and they said they had a few ideas what could raise my ceiling even more than it was before, and being comfortable with Andrew, I, figured I would take it and run with it. He's seen me pitch in Tampa many times. So,
Last thing, how much had you and Andrew interacted when you guys were together in Tampa?
Quite a bit. He was around in the clubhouse a lot. I got to know him pretty well, and all the other guys in the front office there. And it's good to have a familiar face come over here, and he knows what I've done in the past and trusted me that I would work to get better at it. So,
cool. Thanks.
Next question is from JP Hornstra. Go ahead, JP. Go ahead, JP.
Sorry about that. You talked about how the last couple of years you were getting behind the fastball more than you wanted to. I'm wondering if there were any other mitigating factors as far as maybe health or the so-called Coors Field effect or anything else we might be missing.
I think it was kind of, I go over here and they kind of point some things out. My body wasn't working the right way. Like my right hip was a little tighter, so they kind of focused on that and loosened that up, and just kind of took a different ideas and see kind of what worked well and what felt good for me to come over here. And once that, everything just felt nice and free and it was easier to stay behind my fastball. And it's been consistent lately.
And do you think actually throwing fewer breaking pitches helps you to reinforce that habit of staying behind the fastball?
Yeah, I feel like it does, especially when you get in the habit of turning it too much. And, muscle memory will tell you get back to where you were before, but it's just so little to where if my hand's at like 11 degrees on my fastball, it's money and that's where it should be. But there's times where I get to 10-30 and around it on the side more, and it would just my vertical would drop probably 4 or 5 inches. So
cool. Thank you, Jake.
Thanks, Jake. Thanks, everybody.